Megan with Vigilante Vibes, and today I have another character breakdown for a character that is supposed to be in an upcoming series, Ironheart. And of course, I'm talking about Mephisto. Who is Mephisto? What is his deal? Why is everyone making jokes about him since like 2020? I'm going to tell you all of it. Well, I'm going to give you a pretty brief breakdown of him because if I sat here and told you all about him, you'd be listening to me talk for over an hour. Which I'm not against, but you know, baby steps, I guess, into the character. So I will give you a brief breakdown. I will give you some examples as to why he's such an evil piece of trash and some things that he has done to some of our favorite heroes. And yeah, you let me know in the comments what you think of him. And let me know in the comments where some of your favorite comics that you've read him. I try to break down to where to read the best ones of him, and I was like, you know what, I'll just save that for when I give a super long breakdown of him because there's just so much. So I will get you started. So starting with the MCU. Now, in the MCU, there really only has been one real reference to Mephisto, and that was in Agatha all along. We're all very aware of the Mephisto jokes that have been around since WandaVision, but it looks like we'll be actually getting Mephisto in the MCU through the Ironheart series, played by Sacha Baron Cohen. I'm really interested to see just how dark the MCU is willing to take one of, if not the darkest characters they have. In a quick version of who he is, Mephisto is a super powerful, creepy demon from another dimension with a mysterious past. Inspired by Mephistopheles. He's all about stealing souls and messing with them in his own twisted, hellish realm. In the Marvel Universe, he's one of the top Hell Lords, but to put it plainly, he is everyone's problem. The character first appeared in Silver Surfer #3 in December of 1968 and was created by Stan Lee and John Buscema, showcasing his manipulative nature and desire to claim souls. Mephisto is inspired by the traditional depiction of the devil in literature and folklore. Mephisto is an ancient evil demon lord who's been around forever. Way back before the Celestials showed up on Earth, the planet was ruled by these insanely powerful beings called the Elder Gods. Eventually, a monster named Autumn got rid of them, but their leftover magical energy ended up creating the Hell Lords, Mephisto being the first and one of the strongest. He's basically a massive demon who steals souls, loves to torment people, rules over his own hellish dimension. He's basically Marvel's version of the devil, making shady deals with mortals and tricking them into giving up their souls, especially if they're powerful or pure-hearted. He's not Marvel's only version of the devil, but he is one of them. There's even a legend that Mephisto wasn't a demon at all to begin with, but actually the first deviant creature by the Celestials during their first visit to Earth. At one point, Mephisto told Thanos that he was created by an all-powerful being who once had all the Infinity Gems. That being got bored, made Mephisto and some other demons, then destroyed them after realizing they were evil. But when the creator destroyed himself, Mephisto and the demons somehow came back to life. Mephisto runs his own twisted dimension, which he calls Hell or Hades. It is a brutal, fiery place filled with lava, smoke, non-stop torment. Demons torture each other constantly. While he's in his realm, Mephisto is insanely powerful, almost to the same level as a starving Galactus. He commands a whole demon army that often goes to war with other dimensions and even Earth's heroes. His realm includes a creepy, massive castle where he lives and the Arena of Tainted Souls, a brutal battleground where corrupted souls are forced to fight forever just to entertain the demons. Now that you have a pretty good idea of how dark this character is, I'd like to give you some examples from Marvel Comics that shows you just how evil Mephisto truly is. You can't talk about how unhinged Mephisto is without bringing up Spider-Man into the mix. One More Day is still a hot topic among Marvel fans because it undid Spider-Man and Mary Jane's marriage, a move that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Unlike most comic book changes that eventually get reversed, this one stuck around for almost 15 years, which is pretty rare. Controversial or not, it's one of Mephisto's most memorable storylines. It really cemented him as one of the top magical heavy hitters in the Marvel Universe, since he literally erased the marriage and everyone's memory of it like it never happened. The story even partly inspired elements of Spider-Man No Way Home. Speaking of Spider-Man, we have to talk about Norman Osborn. Sinister War from 2021 dropped a major reveal. Mephisto's deal with Spider-Man wasn't just messing with his life. It was actually part of a bigger plan to stop Spider-Man from becoming a real threat to him down the line. On top of that, it tied back to another shady deal Mephisto made years earlier with Norman Osborn. Back when Norman was struggling to keep his business afloat, Mephisto stepped in and offered him success, but at the cost of his son Harry's soul. Norman took the deal, which helped make Oscorp a major powerhouse in the Marvel Universe. But it also pushed Norman over the edge, leading to his breakdown and transformation into the Green Goblin, one of Spider-Man's most dangerous enemies. So I brought up WandaVision before, and it's fair that people were speculating that Mephisto would have had something to do with the show. He plays a pretty big role in the comic storyline that inspired parts of the show. In Avengers West Coast number 51 and 52, Scarlet Witch finds out that her twin sons, Tommy and Billy, were actually made from pieces of Mephisto's soul, which means they weren't really real to begin with. Definitely the kind of dark twist Mephisto was known for. Moving on, some folks don't know that Doctor Doom and Mephisto are actually very entangled together in the comics. Triumph and Torment from 1989, written by Roger Stern and drawn by Mike Mignola, sees Doom travel to hell alongside Doctor Strange to rescue his mother's soul. Mephisto tricked Doctor Doom's mom into making a deal for his power, then snatched her soul right after she died. That move set Doom on a lifelong mission to take Mephisto down and get her soul back. Doom's mom had actually used the power to take out a corrupt leader in Latveria and help her people, but Mephisto, being Mephisto, twisted it all in the end. In Marvel Spotlight number 5 from 1971, Johnny Blaze, who would become Ghost Rider, made a deal with Mephisto to save his mentor and father figure, Crash Simpson, from dying of cancer. Mephisto cured the cancer, but Crash still died shortly after the stunt accident. When Blaze called him out, Mephisto basically said, "Hey, I kept my end of the bargain. He did not die of cancer," which is a classic loophole. But if you've seen the Ghost Rider movie, that's it. That's what happens in there. That deal ended up bonding Blaze with Zarathos. I think it's Zarathos, the spirit of vengeance, giving him his hellfire powers. But when Blaze started out using those powers to fight evil instead of helping Mephisto, the demon took it personally. Ever since, Mephisto and Ghost Rider have been locked in one of Marvel's fiercest rivalries, with Blaze standing out as one of the key supernatural heroes of the universe. In the Siege event from 2009 by Brian Michael Bendis and Oliver Coipel, I don't know, guys. I'm really struggling today. Loki pulled some serious things. He manipulated Norman Osborn into attacking Asgard with his Dark Avengers. While all that chaos was unfolding, Loki captured the Desire, a group of undead Valkyries who feed on gods, and traded them to Mephisto. In return, Mephisto gave Hela a chunk of his own realm to replace the one she had lost. That trade came with a bonus for Loki. He was erased from the books of Hell, meaning he was no longer tied to Asgard or its afterlife. This deal with Mephisto was a big turning point. After Loki died heroically at the end of Siege, he was able to come back as Kid Loki, a younger, more sympathetic version of himself. From there, he started to move away from his villain role and into a more morally gray anti-hero space. So, those are some examples of what you can expect from Mephisto. He is a horrible person. Well, I guess a horrible entity. He is just, like I said, he is everyone's problem. So yeah, that is a short breakdown of Mephisto. If you want to know more, please let me know because I actually really like making those breakdowns. But yeah, I'm curious to see how dark they go with Mephisto and Ironheart. I'm not expecting too much from his character. Just, it's such a big character, and Marvel wants this to be such a small show. So I don't see which I'm fine with. I'm totally fine with him being more of an evil background presence. Like, don't even show us a body, show us a shadow of him. Perfectly fine. But with the Hood being in there and his little evil self being all evil and such, I guess it makes sense that Mephisto is somewhere in there. But who knows? I don't know. So that is my breakdown of Mephisto, and be sure to like and subscribe so you see my other breakdowns of like Riri Williams or the Hood or literally any other character I think of. I try. So with that being said, have a marvelous night.